Hey, what's going on, everyone? This video we're looking at the NBA slate for tonight. Two-gamer once again starting at 6:30. So let's get started. As always, appreciate it. Hit the like on the video and subscribe if you have not already. We have the Lakers and the Rockets first game of the series tonight. It's the nightcap. Then we have the game 3 of the Heat and Bucks tonight. So let's get started at point guard. As always, we have James Harden at 11-2. He is coming off of a terrible shooting game in Game 7, just 4 of 15, but he did have the game-saving block at the end. His price tag is still pretty high at 11-2. I'm not that interested. I mean, I'd rather go to Russell Westbrook, who's only 8,600, and he played 33 minutes last game, 34 minutes. So yeah, in a close game in Game 7, they were gonna put him out there. They kind of just threw the minutes restriction away and couple more days off, and now this series, suits Westbrook pretty well. He has done very well in the 2 meetings against the Lakers this year, and he's only 8,600, so the price tag is still kind of reflecting on the fact that he is they probably think he's still going to be limited. But after playing 34 minutes last game, I don't really see any sort of limit for Westbrook in this one. Even if he plays 35 minutes, that's not really a limit. At 86, that's just a tremendous price tag. His price tag keeps dropping, even though the minutes are going up. So that's kind of one of the spots where I definitely want to jump on Westbrook at just 8,600. Bledsoe looks pretty good at 57. Played 30 minutes, so that's good to see. I mean, the Bucks still play a very deep rotation. It's getting to a point where they just got to stop playing so many guys and just give their starters 35, 36 minutes like all the other teams. But Bud seems to be pretty stubborn with that. But Bledsoe at 57, if he gets 30 minutes, that's usually a pretty good price point and a pretty good, you can definitely return value at that price point if he's getting those minutes. Then there's only a couple of options at point guard. I guess you could look at George Hill. Caruso might be a little bit less appealing with Rondo expected to be back. Who knows how many minutes Rondo plays, or even if he does play, but he could steal some minutes away from Caruso as a backup point guard. At shooting guard, I like Eric Gordon once again. Has been playing pretty well. He's been shooting the ball. He shot the ball really well in the last couple of games, except for Game 6, Game 5, and Game 4. He shot the ball well. Last game he shot great, and he's just playing a bunch of minutes. Even with Harden and Westbrook both in there, he's still getting his 35, 36 minutes, especially with how well he's been playing. So definitely don't mind going with him at that price point. Tyler Hero at just 5,200. See if Iguodala is questionable. If he happens to miss, that's just gonna be a couple more minutes for Hero, maybe a couple more for Robinson, a couple for Derek Jones. But Tyler Hero at 5,200 looks like a pretty good option. He's been seeing some good minutes this postseason. Spoelstra definitely seems to trust him. He's just been one of their better pure shooters, and he has still been able to get you some peripherals rebounding and assist wise, even though he's playing alongside Butler and Dragic. He's still comes off the bench, so he sees a little bit some minutes without Dragic, and then at the end, if he closes with Dragic and Butler. He's been closing all of these postseason games, so definitely Hero. He's been closing over Robinson. Robinson at 46. I guess you could look to him, but I think Hero just gives you more upside just because he is seeing more minutes and he's a little bit more aggressive with more usage rate. Hero looks for his own shot. Robinson usually just shoots open shots. He doesn't normally force things or drive to the basket. At small forward, Butler looks pretty nice at 8,300. We have Covington, who's just been playing great at 63. That's definitely a spot that I like. Kuzma at 5K, not that interested. He just doesn't seem super when he's in there. He's just shooting. He doesn't normally get you a ton of rebounds and stuff like that. So price tag is still 5K. You're gonna need him to have a good game. He can't just come off the bench and not and just kind of mess around. Definitely could kill your lineup if he doesn't play well or doesn't shoot well, which he kind of hasn't. I like KCP. I think just as a value play at 3,800. He's probably gonna play mid-20s in minutes. He's been shooting the ball better. We know he's a streaky shooter, so hopefully he can continue that in this one. The Rockets defense has been pretty good, but they do play at a pretty good pace. It probably should be a high-scoring game. It should be a close game. So KCP I think looks decent. But right now I'm going with Covington at 6,300. Power forward, I like I like Davis a bunch. Probably like Davis over Giannis. $900 cheaper. Davis gets a great matchup. Like Tucker's gonna have a nightmare trying to defend Davis in this one. Davis has been very good with the rebounding. He's been great with the block shots. Gets you stocks. He's just been shooting a ton and super aggressive. Tough not to like him today at 10-6. The matchup I think suits him perfectly fine. And then there's like only like him and Giannis. Power forward is pretty thin. Like you have Crowder at 53. Maybe if Iguodala's out, feel a little bit safer about him. But you got like Davis, Giannis, and then a bunch of just guys that might play some minutes, might not get a ton of run. Over at center, Bam at 8K. I think that's fine. It's just a little bit tough because I want to pay up for Davis. I want to pay up for Westbrook. Tucker, I think you could look to him. He's just playing a bunch of minutes, so we're definitely going to need him out there, even though it's going to be tough for him against Davis. But they play Davis and McGee to start the game, and probably going to be Covington on Davis to start, or they could put Tucker on Davis. But either way, Davis just has a mismatch on him every single possession. Kind of like Brook Lopez a little bit today. There's not a ton of options at center. He's 5,600. He's been playing like 28 to 30 plus minutes, like 32. He can get up to 32, 33. He's been shooting the ball pretty good from three, and especially lately. The Heat, like Adebayo, doesn't really stretch out to the three-point line, so Lopez is getting some open looks there, and he's actually been capitalizing on that. I think today we could see the Bucks just play a little bit of a tighter rotation and see their starters play a little bit more, because this is basically a must-win. So Lopez at 56 also has like a bunch of stocks upside in steals and blocks. And then last but not least, like I mentioned, KCP as a value play. There's not that much value today. So I think he looks decent at 3,800. He's been, like I mentioned, shooting the ball pretty well from distance. He can get you some steals, run into maybe a couple peripherals, but really he's been pretty aggressive, shooting like double-digit shots or 8+ shots in some of his games, and he's been shooting pretty well. It hasn't been the easiest spot for him against the Rockets this year, but he's going to be like the one guy probably defended by Gordon. So I feel like he could definitely have some success in this one at only 3,800. So that's pretty much it for the DraftKings side. Definitely like Westbrook is probably my favorite play at 8,600. Love Davis. Like Davis over LeBron today. And let's go over to FanDuel, see how their pricing shapes out. Alright, over on FanDuel at point guard, we have Westbrook at 85. So neither side has kind of adjusted for the fact that Westbrook's probably going to see 35, 36 minutes like today. No longer really on a limit. I'm just going to pencil him in there against the Lakers. It's going to be, it's going to be a pretty fast-paced, aggressive game. Both teams have been pretty good at playing defense, but both are pretty high-scoring teams. And Westbrook, it's just too cheap at 8,500 if he's like seeing a full workload. Shooting guard, Harden is 11K. I like Westbrook more than Harden today, just based on the price tag. Hero looks pretty nice at 54. Middleton looks fine. KCP is only 4K. I mean, that's a little bit tougher on FanDuel just because your like peripherals are kind of a little bit more important. You don't get the 3-point bonus on FanDuel either. I think Hero looks like pretty good as just a floor and an upside play, just because he normally runs into some peripherals and he's just been playing a bunch of minutes. At small forward, Giannis is cheaper than LeBron. I think Giannis looks good. Gordon is 56. He's been playing great. Definitely can go to him. There's only a couple of options here. So you're probably going to want to pay up for somebody or just punt with somebody here as well. Right now, maybe if Iguodala's out, you could look at Derek Jones as a punt play. But I kind of like Gordon just at 56. Just been kind of doing his thing. He's been making his shots, and he's actually been pretty good at getting some peripherals. Power forward, Davis is 11.2, so it's kind of an expensive price point. If you can get to him, it's still like my favorite spend up. Yeah, Bam, it's $3,200 cheaper if you want to go to him. But Covington, just the way he's been playing and shooting, he's been super aggressive. Like watching the games, the ball is in his hands. He's not hesitating to shooting. He's just firing up shots, and he's just been playing great. Like he's always a factor in the blocks and steals department on FanDuel. That's even more valuable. So Covington is probably my favorite power forward based on the upside and the price point. And then at center, There's like Lopez and Tucker are the two guys to consider. I'm going with Lopez at 57, and leaves you with 7K left still for the positions. So that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and best of luck tonight.